Welcome back to the squad. It's your girl Tiffany Renee. And I just want to talk to y'all today. Look, springtime is coming up soon. We're in January. Then we'll have February. And then spring will be slowly coming on in. And what do people always do when it's around springtime? They're either looking for a bike, trying to find a new one, or just get one, period. So whether new or used, however, you're just out looking for a bike. And one question I get a lot, y'all, is what type of bike should I get? Whether it's from a beginner or just someone that's switching over from sport bike to a cruiser or a tour bike. However, I get that question quite often. So look, I come to talk to y'all today about that. First things first, guys, you need to determine what type of bike do you want. Meaning, do you want a sport bike, a touring bike, a cruiser, or something down the lines of that. So you gotta kind of narrow that down and see what you want. The next thing I recommend is going to find a dealer with that style of bike that you choose and going to sit on some. So you can sit on some and kind of pick them up, meaning stand them up, and see how does that feel with you sitting on it. I know you can adjust the height or however with some of the bikes. So those shorter riders like me, of course, you're not gonna be flat-footed, but those are things that you can get fixed later once you make your purchase. But sitting on the bike and kind of seeing how does it feel with either sitting up, leaning down, however, and see how comfortable you are on it, just sitting on it. So that's one thing I recommend. The next thing I do recommend is that you kind of ask the dealer, contact the dealer with the type of bike that you like and see if it's okay if you go out for a test ride. And I know if you go to Harley, they let you test ride bikes. So they have bikes that you can go take out and ride and see if it's for you. So I definitely recommend that you do that if you can. When I mean go and check with your dealer to see if they'll allow you to test ride, meaning you need to check their policies and see if they'll allow you to take them out. Because I understand that all dealerships don't allow you to do that. So definitely make sure you check with their policies and see if that's something that they allow you to do. If they're not allowing you to do so, if you have neighbors or friends who own a style of bike or type of bike that you like, I recommend that you get on theirs if they're okay with it. And allowing you to ride it and to kind of see how that feel, how that bike speaks to you. That's one thing we like to say. How does the bike speak to you? You know, how does it feel when you own it? So, because you know, when you want something, you be like, yeah, this is really talking to me. Like, this feels good to me. So, definitely you want to check that out, okay? And when I say, see how the bike feel, because when I changed from a sport bike to a bagger, of course, I had already rode one before. I already knew what I wanted because I rode one. And I already knew the challenges that I would have to overcome to get better with riding it. So that right there had already had me sold because I already knew how to ride a bike. It was just choosing a different type of bike. So I already knew that me doing that I would have some challenges ahead of me. But I was okay with it because I already had the fundamentals down pat with like how the bike, the controls and everything work with the bike. So that right there wasn't an issue. So with me changing over from a sport bike to a bagger, I was like really tired of the leaning over. And then I knew I wanted to get out and ride more. So I knew I would be more comfortable on a cruiser. Sorry, a bagger, y'all. I would be more comfortable on a bagger rather than leaning over a lot. And it's no offense to anybody that does it, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people I see get out on those sport bikes. And they hit the road, they're gone. So kudos to y'all for doing it. But I knew that I wanted to like be a little bit more comfortable. So that's why I chose that bike. Now, for my beginner riders, my smaller beginner riders, I absolutely do not recommend getting a tour bike. I'm not saying it's not impossible and it can't be done, you can't do it. I just don't recommend it. Why I don't recommend it is because you're trying to learn the fundamentals. You're trying to learn how to ride a bike and manage the weight of that bike, which is 800 pounds, almost 900 pounds. So I don't think that is a good idea for you to do. You're learning how to ride and you're trying to learn to manage the weight with that bike. So I don't recommend that, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your money. You definitely can go out and get any type of bike you want. Go for it. If you're up for the challenge, go for it. But I just don't recommend it because that is definitely a big challenge to overcome. Like I said, I had been riding for at least 10 years before I switched over to get a touring bike. And when I did, it was a challenge, like I said, with learning to manage the weight of the bike and kind of ride the bike. So I wouldn't recommend that for my beginner riders. Definitely try to get something a little bit more sleeker first. And then later, by all means, grab one. But like I said, if you're up for the challenge, go for it. If you have someone that can help you, to kind of mentor you and to get through it, then go for it. But I just don't recommend that, okay? Now the question is, guys, should you go with a new bike or a used one? Now, that all depends. If you're a beginner rider, if you are a rider with a ton of experience behind you, years of experience, or it just depends on what you like. So it all depends. It's a lot of variables on that one. So, but what I don't recommend, if you are a first-time rider, no matter what style, what type of bike you go out and get, I don't recommend a brand new bike. Why I don't recommend it? It's because you don't want to purchase a brand new bike and then you just go out and drop it. Not saying that somebody that's experienced won't ever drop a bike or they don't drop a bike, but the chance is just a little bit higher when you're a beginner rider that you're going to drop the bike. So I wouldn't recommend going out to get a brand new bike. But if you're all for it, like I said, go for it. I know my first bike, when I first started riding, I didn't get a brand new bike. I had a used one. I had a used 04 ZX10. All those has been around with me. You already know that. So I had that bike first. And like I said, I rode it. I learned on it. Did I drop it? Yes, I did drop it. But I didn't drop it a lot, but still, it was the point. It was a used bike and I dropped it. So that was a good thing, I guess. I learned on that one. But like I said, after that, then I got another ZX10. And then after that ZX10, guess what? Here came EJ. So after having, like I said, that experience of riding, that's when I decided to get a new bike. And at that point, I felt I could handle it. Even though I was changing the type of bike I was riding, I still felt like it was okay. I felt more comfortable riding. So therefore, I don't recommend that if you're a beginner rider. If you're gonna go the used route, I do recommend, y'all know this is a recommendation though. I do recommend that you take someone that's like mechanically inclined. So that way they can help you look over, listen for sounds or however things, especially if you're not gonna buy it from a dealer. You wanna make sure you're not getting yourself into something you're gonna regret. So make sure you take someone with you to kind of help you listen for things and look over things and make sure everything checks out for you before you do buy that used bikes. Because there's nothing wrong with having a used bike at all. I've owned 2 of them. All right, and if you want to go to the new side, you want to go the new route, I do recommend that you shop around. Don't just jump on the first thing that you see. One thing about dealerships though, if you all know, they will try to upsell you on everything. But if you buy it, that's totally fine. You can still do that. But they'll offer you the warranty, the oil changes, and all those things like that. Just know that everything that they're adding on, you're gonna pay for it in that price tag. So definitely shop around though before, because you might find the bike that you like. You might find it one price at one dealer, even in another city, state, however. Just kind of shop around, look around. You don't have to just stay in your town or your city, because you can find it maybe a couple thousand cheaper somewhere else than you could in your own city. So definitely shop around and see what else that's out there for you before you commit to one thing. All right, guys. So now that we have all those tips out of the way, I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed those recommendations. Like I said, they're recommendations. But at the end of the day, what really matters is get the bike that you want. Don't let anybody else convince you to get the bike that they think you should have, or their opinion kind of rattle you from what you feel like you should have had or what you thought you should have had. Don't regret what you had. Because we're gonna all enjoy doing what we do, is riding bikes. It's just getting out there and riding your motorcycle. You're gonna always get the people to tell you that bike is too big or that bike is too small, that bike is too fast. Like, they all go fast. But just get the bike that you want and what feels comfortable to you, because you're always gonna have somebody tell you what you can't do, what you shouldn't have. It's your money, your way. You're the person that's doing it. So make sure whatever you choose is something that you can live with and you're happy with. And at the end of the day, guess what? That's all that matters. All right, y'all, now that we have that out the way, look, like I was saying earlier, springtime is coming. It'll be here before you know it. Next thing you know, summer's here. So look, I want to know, what events do you guys have planned that y'all are going to be hitting this year? I know I have a couple lined up already, so I'm willing and dying to meet you guys. So I can't wait to meet you all. Make sure you get your bike so you can meet me at those events, so I can see you all. Look, I'm going to tell you what I got lined up so far. Look, to start the season off, I already have planned. I'm going to be down in Daytona, so I know it's several of you gonna be down there, so I can't wait to see you guys. Make sure if you see me, please say something to me, because I have a lot of people lately, or afterwards they'll say, hey, I saw you, but I didn't get a chance to speak to you, or I didn't say anything to you. Look, I promise you, I don't bite. I love to talk, I like to speak, I like to put people on camera, so make sure you speak to me and let me know, because definitely I'm trying to meet you guys, okay? Also, I know for sure I'm gonna be going to the Jacksonville all-female ride down in Florida, so hope to see you guys there. Later on in the summer, these are just events that I know for sure that I already booked for that I'm gonna be going to. So I'm gonna go to the Harley 120th anniversary down in Milwaukee. Look, that's definitely gonna be a good ride. So I hope to see you guys there. And I said riding down, I meant to say riding up. So I'm gonna be there. Can't wait to be there. That's gonna be an exciting ride. I'm ready to like enjoy the scenery there, just the sheer riding there. So I can't wait to get there. So hopefully I get to see some faces there. Another event, do I have anything else planned? I can't remember at this moment. I have to check my calendar. I have things written down. But I know for sure I have those events already booked and planned to be there. So I hope to see you guys there. Like I said, get your bike, get out and ride. And I hope to see you guys there. And y'all just drop down in the comments and let me know where y'all gonna be heading to, okay? So make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you hadn't. Look, Tip Squad, we are at 17,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 20. So look, make sure you guys keep on coming to check me out, and I'm gonna keep on being there for you guys. Love you guys. Peace. Bye.